Hey folks, Em here from Transformers and Video Games. Tonight I thought I'd do a pickups video showing some of the games, video game systems, and accessories that I've recently picked up at a local thrift shop. So sit back and enjoy, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Okay, so before we get into the specifics of what I bought, I just wanted to point out that everything you see in this video, I purchased for a total of $85 Canadian. So even if you see price tags on some of the items, I mean, some of those would have been from the previous retailer, but a few of them I believe are from this thrift shop. Just ignore that stuff. I basically gathered up everything I was interested in that they had, and they gave me a combo price on everything. So again, just keep in mind everything was $85 in total. Okay, so to start things off, let's begin with the only Nintendo DS game that was included with this lot. This is Diddy Kong Racing DS, and it's unfortunate for me that this didn't come with the box and manual, just because I would have liked to have owned this box complete. I haven't actually played this before, but I've heard it's a good game. I'm guessing based on the title alone, it's similar to Mario Kart DS. So I guess now I'll just keep my eyes open for a box and a manual, and with yard sailing just around the corner this spring, I've got a pretty good feeling that I'll be able to find what I'm looking for. So either way, I'm still happy to add this game to my collection. Next, we'll take a look at my loose Sony PSP games. The first one here is Gran Turismo. Haven't played one of these for the PSP, but most Gran Turismo games I think are actually pretty good, so that's a good one to have. Snoopy versus the Red Baron. I know, if I'm not mistaken, Metal Jesus had mentioned this as one of his hidden gems for the PSP, so this is another cool one to have. Need for Speed Undercover, Resistance Retribution, and Aliens versus Predator. Now we'll move along to my box complete PSP games. This is Need for Speed Most Wanted 510. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Essentials, The Godfather Mob Wars, Assassin's Creed Bloodlines. Now, I haven't played this on the PSP. This is, of course, my only copy of the game, but I've never played an Assassin's Creed game that I didn't enjoy, so this should be interesting to see how this holds up on this particular platform. And then last, it's not a video game at all, but it's still for the PSP. This is Dave Chappelle Live at the Fillmore. So I always find his stuff funny. So just one more thing to add to the collection on the PSP UMD format. Next we have the box for GameCube's Need for Speed Most Wanted. I say the box because when you open it up you can see I've got the manual as well, but unfortunately this comes with Crazy Taxi for the GameCube. Something that I actually noticed in the store when I was buying this, and I just figured I'd buy it anyways. I'm sure I'll find a loose copy of Need for Speed Most Wanted, and Crazy Taxi is always a pretty fun game to play. Next we've got Halo 3 for the Xbox 360, and this is box complete, both discs. And then last we have Full Spectrum Warrior for the Xbox. Next we'll move along to the stack of loose games that I have here. And it's really unfortunate that these are loose. Unfortunate for two reasons. Number one, obviously as a collector, I prefer having things box complete. If I wanted to resell any of these, then they're obviously worth more on the aftermarket when they're box complete. But everything underneath this top game here, all these ones in the plastic jewel boxes, are PS1 games. And even though I had a PlayStation back when it first came out, the games were expensive, and I wasn't working at the time because I was quite young. So I just never had a very large collection, and even to this day, I don't have a very big collection of PS1 games. So again, unfortunate that I can't add them to my collection box complete, but either way, I'll still take them for now. So first off, we've got Zelda Skyward Sword. This is probably worth about probably box complete. It's probably worth $25 Canadian. I'm not sure what it's worth, just the game, but I've got that. Cool Borders 4. These were always fun games for the PS1, so no doubt this one will be pretty good. Next we have Siphon Filter 2, and I've got both discs here, which is good. I had Siphon Filter 1. I had the original copy of this back in the day. I've still got the one from when I was a teenager. So again, unfortunate that this didn't come with the box, but it's a fairly common game, so I'm sure I'll find one pretty soon. The Game of Life, I'm not too bothered about either way, so I've got that. Test drive games were always fun. Test Drive Off-Road 3. Here's Frogger. Need for Speed High Stakes. Sports Car GT, which I've never actually heard of. Then we have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, and you'll notice in the center ring here it says Jumbo Video, and that was back in the day when people weren't ordering things on demand through Rogers or whatever their service provider is. You'd go to the video store and you'd rent games. Often you'd rent games to find out if they were worth purchasing, or you'd rent games because you couldn't afford to buy the games. But Jumbo Video was a pretty well-known local video store. So it's kind of neat from a nostalgic perspective to have that sticker on this game. I won't be removing that. And actually, maybe seeing that sticker explains why all of these games were loose. It's quite possible that all of these games were purchased from Jumbo Video. So moving along, we've got Croc 2, also Jumbo Video sticker. Rallycross 2. Spec Ops Stealth Patrol. NFL Blitz 2000. Now, I'm not a big sports game fan, but anything I've ever heard about these NFL or any of these Blitz games, people say are very fun for sports games. So this might be a fun one to try. Road Rash 3D, another Jumbo Video special. Not a game at all here, really. This is an official US PlayStation Magazine demo disc. And it says here, if that'll focus properly, it says here it's got NCAA Game Breaker, Crime Killer, Tomb Raider 2, Command and Conquer, Bloody Roar, Resident Evil 2, Monster Rancher, Vigilante 8, and Pitfall 3D. So that's neat. Monaco Grand Prix. RC Racer, which might be fun. I always loved RC Pro-Am for the original NES, so this might be a fun one if it's anything like that. And then a game that I won't have a whole lot of interest in, Championship Bass Fishing, another Jumbo Video game. Next, I grabbed this N64. You can see there's a $5 price tag on here, and I'm guessing that it was only $5 because it doesn't come with a power source or AV cables, and there was likely no way for them to test the unit. So I guess you could say I'm taking a gamble on it, but I'm not really too bothered about it. I'm glad to see they've got the memory expansion door here, and I noticed on the underside as well, it's got this other expansion door, and I don't know if Nintendo ever used that for anything. I'm betting they had pretty lofty plans for the system at the time and never did anything with it. Now, one nice thing, though, about hitting up the thrift shops for just other miscellaneous items, and I didn't get this from the same store, but here's some AV cables that I got from Value Village within the same week of buying all this other stuff. And you can see for $1.99 Canadian, I've got a proper first party. You can see in the light there, it says Nintendo AV cable. So that'll be good for an N64 or for a Super Nintendo. So my wife always asks me, why are you buying these cables for systems that, you don't have a match for at the moment? And this is the reason. You just never know when you're going to stumble upon a system that that's missing something, and you can piece it together like that. So that's really good. Okay, now my second last pickup here is this Super Nintendo lot. Now, as you can see, the system itself is a little worse for wear. At a minimum, it needs a good scrub. You can also see that it's discolored. And that could be for two reasons. Number one, everybody knows that plastic, when it's left out in the sun, tends to get yellowed. Another reason in the case of the Super Nintendo is because there was a chemical that they added to the plastic to help make it a little more fire resistant. And as a result, even if the system wasn't left out in the sun or wasn't abused, it can often leave a lot of the units, or even an upper or lower half of the units, since the shell is made up of two pieces. It can leave them sort of a golden color, which isn't ideal, but it is what it is. Next, we have this Super Memory Card 4000. So obviously that's a third-party memory card. Then we've got this Rumble Pack, and again, this looks like a third-party one. It says Tremor Pack. Can't really get that to focus very well. I've also got this RF switch, which is nice. I had an extra one of these from thrifting, or I've got a few extras, so it's nice that this one came with it. And then the last item here is this Super Nintendo branded, obviously first-party mouse. This is the only Super Nintendo mouse that I own, so it would have been nice if I had kind of a cleaner specimen, but who knows? I'll give this a good scrub, and maybe with a little elbow grease, and I don't know, maybe even like a what do they call it? Mr. Clean Magic Eraser or something like that. I might be able to get this in better condition than it appears right now. But that's it for the Super Nintendo stuff. Now I'll move along to my last pickup. Okay, now for my last purchase. This is Guitar Hero Live for the Wii U. This is a factory sealed box. This, anybody that's not familiar with it, it comes with the guitar that you see in the left side of the box. It also comes with the game. Bottom left corner, you're not going to be able to see this, but there's a $10 price tag on there. If I bought this on its own, it would have been $10, but again, I paid $85 for everything that you see in the video. So that just got factored into the total. I don't actually know what a good price is for this set. I mean, $10 would have been fine for me, quite honestly, even if I didn't get a combo deal on it, given that it comes with the guitar and the game. Just for some kind of a benchmark, you see this. You see just the game used at EB Games here in Canada, which would be GameStop in the States, for $20, which I think is a little ambitious, but for whatever reason, Wii U games haven't dropped in price, even though the system has long since been discontinued. I know a couple of months ago, though, I was seeing Guitar Hero Live sets just like this one popping up on Kijiji, which is like the Canadian version of Craigslist. And people were selling them for, at the top end, $25. And I know a buddy of mine said he got one for $15. So I don't actually know. I mean, possibly there was a Walmart or something that was liquidating all their stock, and that's where people picked these up. But I don't actually know what a good price for this set is, or what the going rate is. Anybody watching this maybe could leave me a comment in the comments section if you have a better idea, let me know. But anyways, that's it for my purchases. All right, well, I think I'm going to leave it at that for today. Here's a parting shot of everything that I picked up for $85 Canadian. And I've got to say, I think I did pretty well, given that I bought all of this at one time from one thrift shop. I know you can certainly do better, and I've done better in the past at garage sales, but we're not yet in garage sale season, so pickings can be pretty slim at thrift stores. So again, I think I did pretty well this time. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. I also wanted to thank everybody for joining me for my first video game related upload on this channel. There's going to be many more coming. As the title would suggest, my main hobbies are Transformers and video games. And I do want to use this channel to profile both of my collections. I'm going to be doing a number of reviews, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So be sure to subscribe for more, and stay tuned for the next video. Take care.